Spending time together as family is critical, especially if you have younger children who are still developing socially, mentally, and physically.
Licensed psychologist Dr. Renee Renardi is here to talk about how we can unplug our kids from tech and get them outdoors. Welcome back to the show, Doc.
Hi, thanks for having me.
This is an important one, but it can be tough. I mean, it's so easy to kind of go, oh yeah, here's that iPad, or so why is it so important to have them unplug?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. There are advantages and disadvantages. So this morning what I want to do is share some evidence-based practical advice that fits for modern times, right? So growing up as a child of the 70s, I had about one channel that I could watch that had children's entertainment on it. It's a totally different experience for children now. The media landscape is huge. So our jobs as parents and adults are to help our children navigate this landscape, to work with them, to be good consumers of this type of information. And there can be some good advantages to that. So there's some fantastic programs and apps and things out there that are great for kids and can actually increase pro-social behaviors and increase empathy and things like that. But we have to be picky in the type of content that we're helping our children find.
So how do we then help get them to turn that TV off and encourage them to go and find different things to use?
Well, this gets tricky. So when we look at what the statistics show, so especially when we look at teenagers, so the average American teenager between 12 and 18 spends between 7 and 9 hours per day on average on some sort of electronic device. That's a little too much. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends 2 hours or less. And there's even some research to show that 2 hours might even be a little too much. So especially when it comes to childhood obesity and things along those lines. So it's helping your child be a good consumer. Help them get some of those advantages of media, to be exposed to information that they maybe wouldn't otherwise be exposed to, especially children who are impoverished, where there are educational limitations. Media can be a great use for people, or living in certain parts of the country, right? So it can be a fantastic resource. For children with disabilities, being able to use assisted devices is groundbreaking for them, right? So there are definite advantages to it. But there are a lot of disadvantages. So we do really have to be actively involved with our children to help influence the type of information that they're exposed to. So, and there are major and really important things to consider so that our children are not negatively impacted, and really negative impacts for the long term. So we do want to look at these things because there's research to show that it has major impacts on children's language development, their emotional development, and lots of other things that if they don't get it early on, they may miss those critical periods as adults.
Good stuff, Doc. Stay with us. Much more coming up about how to unplug right after this.